All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is Thursday, Friday Eve. Looks like a beautiful day outside. I have not been outside yet, but I'm looking forward to checking out the outside because it does look so nice. I have no idea if it's cold, but it might be, it might not be. I am getting ready to do a live radio appearance on Talk 1400 WOND, our Atlantic City affiliate. We're calling it, I'm going to be calling in to the AC Mike show and chat about whatever's on his mind. Honestly, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. I am figuring that we are going to be talking a little bit about the New York Metropolitans because obviously, it was a very rough game last night. I listened to the first bit of it on the radio, and then I watched the last, 3 or 4 innings with my friend Brian Goldstein. What a heartbreaker! That was just really difficult to watch, quite frankly. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch tonight's game. I mean, who am I kidding? Of course, I'm going to watch, but it was difficult. So I'm going to call into the AC Mike show. I've got my trusty landline here. Thank you to all of you tuning in, all 5 of you on the Facebook, all 1 of you on the YouTube. Hey, you know who I'm trying to get a hold of on Facebook is David Stone, our listener of the week. He is usually so proficient in terms of sending stars and everything like that. I don't know. I don't know where he is. I haven't heard from him in terms of bumper music suggestions. But it is uncharacteristic of him. Usually he's the first guy I hear from, and he's our listener of the week. Starting to look like that it might have been an ill-considered choice. So I'm going to use the trusty old landline here. Oh, maybe I'll use my mobile phone so that you guys. So I'll put it on speakerphone, and you guys can hear both ends of the conversation. We'll try that. Meanwhile, usually I would use the landline, but you guys wouldn't be able to hear the other end of the phone call. So anyway, here I'm calling now. You could listen on 1400WOND.com or WONDradio.com. It's very exciting. Hi, it's Frank Morano. I'm scheduled to go on with AC Mike.
You got it, Frank. I'll put you on hold.
Thank you. And would you tell him to check his text messages as well?
Yeah, sure, I will.
Thank you. We'll see if we can get
No
him.
problem.
Thank you.
You got it.
We'll see if we can get him to join our radio soiree on Facebook as well. WOND is a great station, and we love being on there. So anyway, I was just talking with my wife, and she says our Spectrum bill, which is basically just landline phone service, internet, and cable, is now going up to $220 a month, $222 a month, which is a fortune. And I said, so we have 2 devices. Can we do away with one of them? And in any event, they told her, no, that's going to be the same price. We could have 12 people. Oh, there's AC Mike. There he is. Hang on.
What's up, Frank?
How are you, brother?
Oh, good. Listen, we got Larry Goldberg here as well, too. Do you mind him joining us?
No, I've been listening. I'm a boxing fan. I'm excited to hear what you guys are doing in New York. I was just listening what you guys are doing.
December 17th at Sony Hall. We're doing our Christmas show.
Great. So where's Sony Hall?
Across from Hamilton on 46th and Broadway.
All right. Well, it's I work 3 blocks.
It'll be our 10th show at Sony Hall. They just gave me the award for the New York Boxing Hall of Fame because we brought boxing back there after the pandemic. So it's
great. That's very exciting. I'll try and be there. That should be exciting.
So Larry, so Frankie, what is this? This just goes to the Facebook page?
We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube right now.
Love it.
So I mean, if you share on your Facebook, all the AC Michaelholics will be able to tune in as well. You'll be able to see us.
So share this.
Yeah, you can share it, and all your folks will be able to tune in as well.
From your Facebook page?
Yeah. Facebook.com/Morano fan. And we're streaming now. If you click share, all your massive Facebook following will be able to see it as well.
All right.
I'm gonna call in from my landline so there's less of a
Okay.
echo.
I want to live on the ocean. If you have worked hard, you deserve an apartment on Ocean Drive too. Ocean
Oh, I
Drive.
love that John Catsimatidis commercial.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
Fireman, doctor, nurse, or teacher, you qualify for a limited time.
So you may have to, Larry, plug that in.
I could hear him through the thing, but this is.
Hey,
Well,
it's Frank again. I'm switching phone line.
Look, he's got a blue phone. Frank, you
That's
got a
right.
blue phone like my mom. Like,
Well, I got it for the Mets.
I love it. I don't even want to talk to Mets.
I don't know where he's.
Underneath your belly. You'll see. Back up, so you can look down. There you go. And you may have to play with it a little bit there. I love it though. Congratulations on the Mets. Not so good with the Dodgers though.
Oh, there's nothing to congratulate us on after last night's game, man.
Right.
Keep listening for more.
So here, I'm going to share now. Oh, nice sound.
Talk 1492.3 WOMD welcomes you back to the AC Mike Show. Call in and join the conversation at 609-927-1100. And now, here's AC Mike.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the show. So glad you're with us this midday at News Talk 1492.3 WONDradio.com on the World Wide Web. We're here live and local at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino Studio, Atlantic City, with our friend, the other side of midnight, and it definitely is for him, Frankie Morano. Frank Morano, welcome to the AC Mike Show on WOND.
Mike, it is great to talk to you, my friend. It's great to be here. You know what a fan I am of yours, of boxing. I'm glad to be following the boxing conversation, and especially of Talk Radio 1400 WOND, a station that we're honored to be on. My only complaint is that they don't have us on every day.
You know what? We're going to work on that.
Yeah, if anybody can get it done, you can. If people don't know, listening in South Jersey or around the world, AC Mike is the go-to guy, whether it becomes something on the alcohol, the Beverage and Alcohol Control Board, or getting as a civic activist or a charitable guy. If there's something that needs to be done in Atlantic City, you get it done. Especially, hey, you finally got the Trump Plaza knocked down. I mean, people were trying for 10 years to do it. You got it knocked down after it closed, by the way.
Listen, it was kind of falling apart at the time, and became just a disaster. And to your point though about that place, and I didn't mean to go there. I loved that place.
Oh, so did I.
The
So did
Trump
I.
Plaza. It was the hotbed of the Atlantic City Northeast, so to speak.
I mean, it was great. It was such a wonderful thing right after you're coming off the expressway to see those big letters, Trump Plaza, and then to go in there, even after it got kind of dingy, and even after Trump was suing to have his name removed from it, I still loved hanging out there. They had that bar, the Ego. You remember that?
Yes.
It was great. And then I was there actually the day of the earthquake in 2012 or 2013, and I was at the craps table, and then I heard the chandelier shaking, and they shut down the craps table, and I was just about to go on a run, which was a real bummer.
Listen, we got Larry Goldberg here. Larry, you jump in anytime you want as well for Boxing Insider Promotions. You were
hey, how are you? How are you, brother? It's great to connect with you, Larry.
I loved Trump Plaza as a kid. One of the reasons I got into boxing, because in the old days they wouldn't let us walk through the casino when we were kids. So you'd go up this really, really long escalator, and then you'd have to walk around and then go down the other escalator on the other side, and up there would be the press room. And when I was a kid, I used to always sneak into the press room and steal the press kits and meet all the guys. And that was sort of, as I got older, how I decided to do the website. But I mean, Trump Plaza was the home of I mean, all of those events that we all talked about years later, there was that 5 or 6 year span, the Tyson fights or 2 WrestleManias. That was all Trump Plaza.
Yeah.
Well, they said that the two WrestleManias were actually at the Trump Taj Mahal. And they gave the credit to the Trump
No,
Taj
Taj Mahal wasn't even built yet. It was on
Well,
Trump Plaza.
that's what I was going to say. Is I think technically, even though they billed it at least WrestleMania
Right.
4 as being from the Trump Taj Mahal, it was actually, and Mike, you were around at the time. You can speak to this. I think it was actually at the convention center.
It was at
or
Convention
the
Center.
Boardwalk
Convention
Hall.
Center. Yep.
Yeah.
It was at Convention Center, but all the banners inside there said Trump Plaza.
Yeah. It definitely was. Listen, one of those things that could never come back again. You would see all the stars, whether it was Bruce Willis, Michael Jackson. I could go on, Brooke Shields, Mike Tyson. I remember running in literally to Mike Tyson as I was going back to the Ocean Club. He was staying at the Atlantic Club, which was the Hilton, and we're walking in, and this guy's like, I'm going, oh yeah, I used to live there. And I was like talking, I was riding bike. It was just an unbelievable time. Again, a great venue. We got to get somebody to get that oceanfront property, Frankie. So if you know anybody, brother, let them know it's for sale, man.
You know, that's Carl Icahn holds the
Yes.
note on that property, right? Yeah, I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know. You know, John Katsimatidis, who I just heard promoting his oceanfront properties in Coney Island, he's got to know Carl Icahn. I will. I'll put a bug in his ear and mention it to him because you know, when it comes to real estate development, nobody knows more than John Katsimatidis. So I will suggest that to him.
Absolutely. So listen, before we jump into more Atlantic City talk and whatnot, tell us what's going on, in New York City. I mean, there's a mayor. I mean, we got some similarities going on there and here. What's going on with that, Frankie? I mean, if you don't mind me jumping into that.
Yeah, a couple of things. So, one, the difference between what's going on in New York City and in Atlantic City right now really is that in Atlantic City, with the exception of Don Guardian, every mayor gets indicted, right? It's kind of expected that whoever the mayor of Atlantic City is will be indicted. If you don't get indicted, they ask what's wrong with you. They're still trying to figure out what went wrong with Jim Whalen. But in New York, the mayor never gets indicted. This in the history of New York City, this is the first time that a sitting mayor, and it's not the first person that's ever been accused of being corrupt. This is the first time that a sitting mayor has ever been charged. So it's really interesting. So in terms of what's happening and what that means for the people of the city of New York, the governor of New York has the power to remove him. And essentially what she has done is she has told the mayor to clean house. So in the span of, I guess, 10 days, we've seen the police commissioner resign. We've seen we've seen 2 deputy mayors resign. We've seen the schools chancellor resign and about 4 or 5 other key officials. So this administration looks totally different than it did 2 weeks ago. The people in charge of the city's leadership at every agency really are almost every agency are very different from where they were 2 weeks ago. Now, my hope is that we got rid of all those bad actors and maybe that the people in charge now are less likely to be involved in anything shady. We'll see. We'll see. As far as the legal aspect of it goes, the Southern District of New York, which is a very tough prosecutorial office, that's where Preet Bharara was the U.S. attorney. It's where Rudy Giuliani was, James Comey, Robert Morgenthau back in the day. They have indicated that they're going to bring a superseding indictment. But also we're hearing rumblings that the Eastern District of New York, that they may also bring an additional indictment for additional charges. So it's not a great thing for New York, not a great thing for Mayor Adams. And it's going into a Subway series. You'd hate to have the mayor presiding over the Subway series with this cloud of suspicion over him.
And that's where I was going to go next. Listen, first of all, as a Phillies fan, listen, you guys handed it to us. Again, congratulations from there. I mean, the Dodgers are doing a little bit number on you, but that possible Subway series. I mean, first of all, that's got to be crazy again to be able to even think about that, put that together. And you touched on it briefly, frankly. I mean, he's going to be a center point of it. The administration will. I mean, just that's the way it is. It's New York
Yeah.
City.
Yeah, I was there. It was when the Mets beat the Phillies to clinch their spot in the NLCS, and it was really a magical moment. My wife Rachel, who says hello by the way, she was just complaining to me in the because I'm decked out in all my Mets gear. She says, "How much did you spend in the Mets team store after that game that you went to last week?" I said, "Honey, you couldn't help but feel it was your patriotic duty as a Met fan to go hog wild in the team store. So sure, $50 shirts, $40 hats. You went crazy." So it was really wonderful to be there. We're seeing the fireworks and everything. I was at the look. I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse because clearly the Dodgers are very formidable. But I was at the World Series to see the first World Series game in Citi Field in 2015. But I didn't get there when the Mets played the Yankees in 2000. The Yankees certainly seem on track. We'll see what they do today in terms of getting to the World Series. But it would be an exciting thing to go to see the Mets and the Yankees in the World Series. I think New York would be the place if that were to come to fruition.
Absolutely. Listen, not a huge Mets or Yankees fan, but I respect what they've done this year as well as in seasons past with the Yankees. Listen, and then we also have, I mean, to get back to the NFL, the Giants Eagles play this
Yeah.
weekend as well. So it's all, coming back and forth to us. With that, though, Frankie, and you talked about, Larry talked about the theater as well, a little bit, what's going on. I mean, I know we're a few years out now, but has everything come back to, you're seeing the folks coming in, walking around, doing the shows, doing the restaurants as well. I mean, we want to bring boxing back there as well with Larry. How's everything there? I haven't been in, I guess it's about a year and a half now.
I mean, Larry can speak to his perspective, and I know he's got this big show coming up on December 17th at Sony Hall, which I'm looking
Which I
forward to
hope
being
you
at.
come. Please
But
come.
from what I can tell, it's great. I mean, the one thing that was lingering from that era, which still had not come back to normal, was crime is still higher than it was before the pandemic. But other than that, in terms of energy, in terms of businesses reopened, everything is back to normal by and large. There are not quite as many places that stay open 24 hours nowadays. Even some diners and classic Chinese restaurants like Wohop that used to be open 24 hours, and that was sort of their defining feature. For whatever reason, they haven't reopened to go 24 hours, which is sort of a bummer. I'm not sure that's just limited to New York City, though, but New York's a great place. Nothing kills me more than hearing all these New Yorkers that lament being in New York and dream about one day moving to Florida. I mean, come on. New York's a wonderful place, and thankfully things, knock on wood, are largely back to normal.
I can say, as someone who was living in New York for 9 years, that I am lamenting that I am now living in Margate. I love New York.
Well, Margate's a great community.
Oh, I love
though.
Margate. I'm just getting around, but I can tell you that when we were doing boxing at Sony Hall, the COVID was still lingering in the fact that they just didn't have as many acts, and so it was very easy to get dates. And now it's just not as easy to get dates, and the Times Square, that area is still bussing, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit scarier than it used to be, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
again, it's not nearly as bad as it was in terms of crime 30 years ago, but
Right.
it's certainly that's the one thing that's not back to normal from 4 or 5 years ago.
And that's a good thing. Listen, the same thing we deal with here. The one thing I'll give the back in the day, and to lose the COVID talk because we're way out of it. But he did keep the boardwalk open, our mayor here, and the shows started coming back, and of course they kept the casinos. I shouldn't say kept them open, but they opened. They were one of the first things to open
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
To,
Yeah,
to
it was.
get that, and then now the shows. I mean, again, Larry's part of it as well. Tropicana, Atlantic City, November 16th, in the Tropicana showroom.
I like how you just wedged that in there.
You know-
That's good.
Right. That's what we do. Hey, folks, by the way, we're talking with Frank Morano, WABC 77, and my man Larry Goldberg as well, Boxing Insider. Just having a good time. If you want to jump in, we got Bill from Sweetwater. I don't know if that's a call for us or some sort of. You guys don't mind taking a call? Bill from Sweetwater, welcome to the AC Mike Show. Hey, what's happening, Bill?
Checking in, man. I'm back from Florida. We got 3 million back of power 1 week.
Did we lose him? Well, according to what we're hearing, people are saying Florida's too hot and humid.
Okay, we got you, Bill. Listen, we got an interview. Let me get back with you. Right there, guys. We just had a electrician who went down to a storm, the Hurricane Helene, and as well as Milton, and he's been gone for the past couple weeks.
Wow.
Giving us a call, check in, just saying 3.2 million have been restored back to power. So pretty cool. We get these live updates occasionally from our friend Bill from Sweetwater, New Jersey.
That's great. And, that's the kind of thing that makes live radio so wonderful. One, in those people in Florida and the folks in North Carolina and places like Tennessee that were without power
Yeah.
were really cut off from all sorts of access to information. They had no idea about anything that was going on. That's why it's so important to have a battery operated radio. But to be able to get live updates from people like Bill is an indication of the immediacy of radio, something that other media just can't compete with.
Absolutely. Listen, that's what we do. I kind of say it all the time. Live and local, you get here. I'm an old head, would love the papers, whether it's the Post, the Times, or whatever it may be, as well as up here, the Daily News. But it's nothing like live radio. Frankie, talking about live radio, talk to us about that. What's been going on with the show? I mean, the folks out here follow you as well. You got a show out here with us as well, WOND. We need to get you 5 days a week. But talk to us about what you're doing with that weekend show.
Well, it's going great. I mean, knock on wood, everything is going great. And, if people are ever, they ever can't sleep at night, they can certainly listen to me from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and I'll do my best to put them back to sleep. You can might be able to get us on 770 a.m. Depending on the night. We have a lot of listeners from South Jersey, or you can just go to wabcradio.com and listen to wherever you happen to be. But thankfully, obviously things are very heated on the presidential front.
Right.
Yesterday or this morning, a lot of people were eager to comment about the Kamala Harris interview on the Fox News channel.
Your thoughts?
Well, honestly, I gave her credit for doing it. I thought it was exactly the kind of thing that we need to see more of, because so far, by and large, what we've seen, especially from her, but also to some extent from Trump, is these presidential candidates only going into friendly media outlets where they're not going to be asked really anything resembling a challenging question. So I thought it was nice to see a candidate actually doing that. I don't think she acquitted herself very well, though, to be honest. I thought Bret Baier did a great job, because when you're in a position like that, and you've been in these positions interviewing governors
Right.
and all sorts of other people, you have to kind of thread a very delicate needle in being challenging and asking difficult questions and not letting her filibuster, which she'll do. She'll talk for and not just her, but any politician will talk for
Right.
5 or 10 minutes and kind of talk around whatever question you're asking, but at the same time being deferential and respectful. And I know some people are criticizing Bret Baier on the left for being too tough, or on the right for being too deferential. I thought he struck the perfect balance. I thought he did a really good job.
And to your point, I'm with you. I'm piggybacking on that. You have to. It's an interview. It's not a town hall. It's not a rally or whatnot. It is an interview, and that's what you have to do, because typically, listen. I went to the Leadership Institute in Virginia, Arlington, Virginia, several years back, and it's what it is. It's a political school, and one of the things they taught there: filibuster, talk,
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's obvious when you're doing that. But what I don't appreciate, though, Frank, is that it's such an important election. And if this is something that they're saying about you, right? They're saying this about Frank Morano, and he's running for such and such. And wouldn't you step back and say, you know what? Let me give you some answers. You may not like it. I mean, now this is just you and I talking.
Yeah.
Let me be straight up and say, because I think, this is me personally, that I'm going to say, you know what? Okay. You know what? They flip flop. They change their mind. You can do that, but also talk about it. Be straight, because we're sitting there. It's the eye test. No.
I completely agree with you. I mean, she's in a tough position in that, one, she has all these positions from 5 years ago that she doesn't have now. And she doesn't have a good explanation for why she changed her positions on so many different areas. And she's also in a position where she wants to be supportive of what happened with the Biden administration and take credit for the things that she perceives to be popular from the Biden administration, but she doesn't want to distance herself from the aspects of it that are unpopular. So how does she take credit for, say, the Infrastructure Act, but not take credit for inflation? How does she take credit for being supportive of Israel and Ukraine, but not take credit for the border? It's a question, it's a situation that any vice president would have a tough time with. But I think the fact that she was so outspoken in positions that were different from where she is now, I mean, I don't know how I would answer those, right? I don't know how to say, I was just saying that then for politics, and I'm saying this now for politics. You know, I don't know how you answer them. And I thought Bret Baier did a good job, kind of at least exposing the fact that her positions had evolved on some of those issues.
Fair and balanced, but you won't hear that on the other side. So, when they're
but in her defense, though, at least she went into the Lions Den. She went on
100%.
Fox. I'm not expecting Donald Trump to be doing any interviews on MSNBC in the next 3 weeks.
No, 100%. I'm with you on that. I mean, give it credit, whether it's out of desperation because they figure they better start doing this stuff with 3 weeks or 20 days or 19 days, whatever we have. Definitely, it's credit to that administrator, their team for taking care of that. Let's bring it back here a little bit. Listen, when is it the next time that you and the folks in the family are going to be coming out? We'll be picking up more with this presidential as we join each other each week, though. When are you coming back out here? You know, this is the best time of the year. You get local summer, September, October. It's getting a little bit this morning, but lots of stuff happening out here.
I think we're going to be out there. I'm not sure if it's going to be the first weekend in November or the second weekend in November. We were supposed to come out 2 weeks ago. I hate to mention the competition, but we were coming out for Harry Hurley's charity dinner, which I always love. But I and my wife gave me a hard time about this, deservedly so. I got into a minor car incident and I smashed our side view mirror, and she wasn't comfortable driving to South Jersey with no side view mirror. And I didn't think to ask a friend of mine to borrow their car. So I bought tickets to that Harry Hurley event and didn't even get the free fish that comes with it. So.
Oh, boy. So listen, you got to let us know when you come. We appreciate you joining us. Again, lots going on in the world of whether it's politics, sports, dining, etc. And then with what you're doing out there in New York City with the show. I'm up occasionally this morning texting you and whatnot. Folks, make sure I'm going to have him give the times and dates and whatnot. But also for your listening audience, hey, folks, if you want to know anything that's going on, jump on the AC Mike Facebook, Mike Lopez Facebook, AC Mike NJ Instagram. We'd love to have you on and take a bike ride down the boardwalk with you or whatever, and again, we're working on a lot here too, Frank. There's been a lot. The prosecutor of Atlantic County put this beautiful op-ed out about the homelessness and working on that. And I'm going to talk with you about that because I like to pick it up next week when we get together, because it's been a big issue here for many, many years. And I'm really feeling that there's a situation here with the all the groups working together that we can get this taken care of and get this clean, safe, and well lit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the Atlantic County prosecutor. He does a great job. I've been lucky enough to talk with him several times, and I think the folks in South Jersey are lucky enough to have him. There's some competitive elections in South Jersey as well. I don't think our friend Jeff Van Drew is going to have a tough time, but it's certainly going to be an interesting race.
Absolutely. Frank Morano, other side of midnight, we thank you. Larry Goldberg, we thank you. Listen, we got to sign off here, folks. Be well, live, work, play. AC. Thank you, Frank A.
Thank you. I'm hanging up, brother. Take care. All right. So that was it. The one and only AC Mike. You can catch him on Facebook.
I learned the hard way. You guys start talking about politics, I shut up.
No.
I am not.
Well,
I am not taking a stand. Locally, nationally, nothing.
You're 100% right. I tried not to.
All I'm gonna do is piss off. I don't. If this isn't my horse, I'm not gonna change anyone's votes.
I mean, I know.
I love her. I hate him. Whatever. I don't care.
Right, yeah. I know
We're a blue state. That's all I know. Ain't nothing we do to change us.
It's not going to change.
So, just watch it like a reality show. Because you know he's.
Well, that's a great way of putting it, Larry. Watch it like a reality show. This is what we're doing.
He was about
All right, I'm going to exit there. Michael Cutler says nothing better than free fish. Well, I guess when you're spending $125 for a ticket, it's not technically free. But the point is that I bought the tickets for the event, and it wasn't. Then we didn't get to even have the meal, so that was kind of a bummer. But I try and look at it as think of all the money that I didn't spend gambling. Right? I guess that's the case. So all right. What else? So I don't know if there's an alternative to Spectrum, if there's something else that we can do, because it's now gotten to the point where I don't see how we can keep it once it's $222 or a month. And so my wife said to ask the listeners if there's a means of trying to get all the channels that I watch without cable. So I like to watch the Mets. So I like SNY. I do watch some of the regular channels, Channel 2 for CBS Sunday Morning and for 60 Minutes, Channel 5 for shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy. And I do like New York One, but my wife said I don't watch New York One as much as I used to, and that's silly to spend $220 to keep New York One. But if anybody has any suggestions as to come as close as we can to our current plan of approximating internet, landline telephone, and cable, let me know. Maureen says, I'm paying $272 a month. Wow. See, that's what we're afraid of. So we asked about maybe trying to do away with some of the channels we have. Apparently, it would only cost us $5. It would only save us $5 a month. Robin says, you said this before, and I told you, go and get YouTube. What does that mean, get YouTube? So what do I get to watch on YouTube? Do I get the local channels on YouTube? Do I get New York One on YouTube? Do I get SNY on YouTube? And what is that? What is that? I don't know what that means. Get YouTube. And I'm not sure if our television is smart for YouTube. I don't know if that's what. So Maureen says, I know Spectrum is nuts. So what makes you keep Spectrum? Because I like cable and I like to be able to just go through the cable guide and see what's on, but not for what you're paying. To $272 a month. So is there a way to watch live programming, especially the local channels, with the immediacy of cable without spending that crazy amount of money? I don't know that there is. Robin says, call YouTube. All right. I'll reach out to them. Yeah. Maureen says, what's the alternative? That's what I'm asking. Right. I don't know. Robin's very high on YouTube. I think she's a stockholder. I don't know if they offer landline telephone service and internet as well, because I'd like both. I don't know. So it's very disconcerting. And you know what it is? It's not like you get to do away with cable and then just pick all these streaming services. All these streaming services are all upping their prices as well. And they all have one thing that you want to watch. Netflix has one thing that you want to watch. Paramount Plus has one thing that you want to watch. Hulu has one thing that you want to watch. Jeff Schilling says, even if you save $100 by changing, it's better to keep what you like, even if it's over 200 something, and look at other things to cut back $100 on. That's only $25 per week. I could be something as simple as not going to Starbucks so often. We don't go to Starbucks. If you or Rachel drink that garbage, no, we don't do that. Well, so Maureen, you have 3 boxes, landline, high-speed internet. We don't even have boxes. We have the Spectrum cable that we have. It's not even really cable. It's these Apple TV devices where it's basically Spectrum through an app. So I don't know. Got to figure something out. Maybe Robin is right. She has basic cable and YouTube. So we got to see. So you know what's bothering me now, literally, is I did something to my foot. I don't know what, but the center of my left foot, like the Willem Dafoe movie, it hurts. I don't know if and I don't think I did anything to it. You know what I think the problem is? One of my many quirks is I have an obsession with cracking things. I crack my knuckles 90 times a day. I crack my back. I crack my neck. I crack everything. I crack my toes. And sometimes I get a little carried away with the aggressive cracking. And the only thing I could think that might have injured my foot here is really aggressive foot or toe cracking, going a little too far. Maybe when I had a shoe on, trying to crack my foot, or, sometimes I crack my back using my feet, because you can kind of put your feet against one another and create it and crack it that way. But whatever it is, it is a little uncomfortable. I'm hoping it's one of those things that goes away in a day or two. Otherwise, I may have to schedule an appointment and get an x-ray. But I don't know what I could have done. The only other thing I could think is that maybe because I had injured my left calf, maybe I was walking on my left foot weird, and the way I was landing or something kind of screwed me up in terms of that left foot. So I don't know. All right. Those of you that are watching, please be so good as to like, comment, and share. Maureen, Robin, Christina have all been doing a great job liking, commenting, and sharing. Christina says, let's win today, please. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I couldn't even talk about that. The game this morning. It was so demoralizing. I was telling Rachel, I may not even watch the game tonight. Now, who am I kidding? Of course I'm going to watch it. It is crazy what we're seeing. It's just, I don't know. We're only a game behind, right? And knowing the Mets are the Mets, you have to think it's going to go to 7 games. You do, right? We'll see what happens. All right. Tonight on radio, well, technically tomorrow, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., we have Ask Frank Anything. So if you have questions, please be so good as to give me a call at 646-720-0635 at 1 a.m. Look what Brandon has said. Hulu Live has all the channels you mentioned except New York One, and it's just under $90. Can I watch CNN on there? Because I need to see Smirkanish on Saturday morning. See, that's pretty good. Let me know if they have CNN on there, Brandon. So we got to Ask Frank Anything. Comedian Vicky Wong is going to join me in studio. She is the young woman from Taiwan who's a great comedian and gives a great perspective on what's happening in Taiwan. Obviously, tensions are escalating there between Taiwan and China and everything. Then Fred Rubino, comedian Fred Rubino, not from Taiwan, but from Jersey, from Brooklyn by way of Jersey. They have all the news channels. All right, maybe if it's really $90 live, we may have to go that way. Oh, Fred Rubino checking in. Fred, bring your A game tonight. I'm telling you, because if I'm staying up to watch the Met game, I'm not going to have any opportunity to prepare to be engaging and entertaining. So we're counting on you. So we got Vicky Wong, we got Fred Rubino. I believe master mechanic Mike Porcelli is going to join us as well. And obviously we got denunciations. I'm still crafting my denunciation list and coming up with people to denounce. So I am looking forward to that. And that's about it, right? If you didn't get a chance to listen to this morning's show, we had a little bit of a curveball because Brian Kilmeade was suddenly unavailable. So we had to kind of improvise a little bit. But I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was an interesting discussion on the issue of income-based fines that I thought people brought a lot of good points up about both sides of that issue. And then I thought Kevin Jackson was really interesting with his response to the debate. Christina Riker, Frank, was the big 3 that Brian says on his show. Was the big 3. Christina, I'm sorry I'm not following what you mean. Was the big 3 that Brian says on his show. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. All right. We're still trying to get a hold of David Stone. If anyone knows where David Stone is, let us know, and we'd be happy to reconnect with him. I'm still waiting on his bumper music selections. All right. Unless anybody else has any questions, I will sign off here. Please listen to this morning's podcast. Please share it if you haven't already. Oh, and the other thing I'll mention is, if possible, please, for those of you that are members of the Facebook group, and it's a great Facebook group, but it's meant to be a Facebook group about what we're doing on the show. There are so many people in there that just post stuff that has nothing to do with the show. The only thing that I would ask is please keep it focused on the show. That's it. So please, we're looking for more people to join the Facebook group who are going to be on topic, and ideally who are going to be nice. Someone was texting me, a listener, and you could always send me an SMS text message as well at 816-8-Morano. That's 816-8-MORANO. But this person was texting me this morning with feedback about, something that was on the show. And it was the perfect point of discussion. It was criticism, honestly, but it was the perfect point of discussion for what should be in the Facebook group. And I said, why don't you post this in the Facebook group? And this person writes back, yuck, mean people. And that's kind of the second person in as many weeks that had something that they wanted to say based on what we were doing around the show. And yet they were basically afraid to post in there because they don't want to get cyberbullied, essentially. So I don't understand why people do that online, why people are mean to one another. But if someone has a different point of view than you, there's no need to attack them. There's no need to be critical. You could just say, all right, we'll agree to disagree. So I would if you want to be part of a civil conversation, join the Facebook group. We're trying to get more people to join who want to engage in a nice way and in an on-topic way. And so I hope you will join the Facebook group at Facebook and just search Morano, MORANO, Radio Fans and Haters. Hey, do us a favor and send some stars. Carmine is napping now. Should be up any minute. But this young man wants to eat every day. And so now that the Spectrum bill is up to $212 a month, we're going to have to make some tough choices. Do we keep feeding him 3 meals a day? Well, 2 meals 5 days a week because he eats at school. Or do we keep Spectrum? Smirkanish, Carmine. Bill Maher, Carmine. New York One, Carmine. We'll see. But if you can send us some stars, we will not have to make that decision. You can also become a subscriber. I know Brandon is on here, who's great, and Christina is on here, who's great. Both subscribers. So if you want to help us out to the tune of 99 cents a month, you can just click overview under the comments box and scroll to the bottom and click subscribe. It would be a big help, right? It would help Carmine stay in turkey meatballs or chicken meatballs and macaroni and cheese. Oh, Marianne says she sends stars. Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Tip of the hat to you. Maureen, I have to make a wedding for my daughter next July. Times are tough. Yeah, I know. I mean, especially with you paying $270 a month with Spectrum. I get it. And that's where that's where maybe, like the fellow was saying, come back on something else. To find that 99 cents a month to subscribe, that's where that inflation that we're dealing with really hits home. But see what you can. If you could cut back maybe on flowers or the photographer so you can afford that 99 cents a month, maybe that's the move, All right. We also have the National Psoriasis Foundation Walk that is coming up. Well, it's not even a walk. It's kind of they call it a take action event at the Bronx Zoo. That is, I'm emceeing that event. They brought me back. They did not have me MC last year, but they're bringing me back this year, I have posted the link to how to donate. And if you want to help us out and make a donation, I posted it on my Facebook page. You can absolutely make a donation, and it would be a big help. Or if you want to join our team is called the Frankfooters. I'll be there. Carmine will be there. My wife Rachel will be there. And it's a fun event. And you get free admission to the zoo. So I guess it's this Sunday. Oh, boy. If it's this Sunday, I better get in gear in terms of asking people for money. So it's this Sunday at the Bronx Zoo. Let me see if I could post a link right now in the comments here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to post a link right now. And then if you're able, please make a donation. Here you go. There's a link right there. And please make a donation if you can. And it's tax deductible. Tax deductible if you still itemize. But with tax reform being what it is these days, I'm imagining most of us don't itemize anymore. But it's still a nice thing. All right. I'm going to log off. Please be so good as to like, comment, and share. And I will see you on the radio.